Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm Maryam. In today's video, I am going to be testing a lot of new makeup, and I'm also going to be doing a get ready with me life update type of video. This is going to be a very chatty tutorial in which I will be sharing and revealing some personal and professional stuff about my life over the past 4 to 5 months. And I'm also going to be talking about a bunch of new products. We got Flower Beauty here. We've got some Wet n Wild palettes that you've all wanted me to try. Beauty Blender, you name it, I've got it. Let's dig in. Let's do this. Get ready with me. Life update, testing makeup. Let's go. I have a lot of stuff that I want to apply to my face today. Whole tray of newness and some more newness on the side. I think today I want to start with this Beauty Blender The Leveler Pore Minimizing Primer. I'm a little hesitant to try this because you remember what happened to me when I tried their setting spray. That did not go well, but I'm hoping that this will go better. So I'm going to warm it up between my fingers and just apply it to my porous zones like I always do. I'm so mellow right now, you guys, because last night I applied this CBD sleeping cream from Peter Thomas Roth. I've been asking a lot on Insta stories whether I should do a whole full review of all these new cannabis CBD skincare products. So I tried this CBD cream on my face last night, and when I tell you I slept like a baby, I'm not exaggerating. Only problem is that I feel like the sleeping cream also needs a wake up cream, because then I find myself feeling really mellow the next day, kind of like I am right now, just so chill. Even my voice is like real monotone. All right, well that mattified everything rather well. There's two of these actually, one in light medium and another one in tan deep. I'm using the light medium. For my foundation, DIOR Forever Foundation, one of my favorites. This is the original formula, but in a new packaging. So I'm not gonna talk about it too much because you've seen me using this one before. My last life update was sometime in the summer, so about 6 months ago, and it wasn't a great one. During that time, there was a couple of really just one very traumatic thing that happened. I was pretty emotional in that video, but today's is not going to be that dramatic, but still, there have been some changes. A couple of weeks before my birthday's in October, and this happened late September. Lee and I were in LA, we were traveling for work. I got a text from my dad's wife, the mother of my brother and sister. I don't call her stepmom because she's Lee's age, and so she's more like my friend. Get a text message from her telling me that my dad had a stroke, and it wasn't a minor stroke, it wasn't a medium stroke, it was actually a pretty massive stroke. Now, I don't want to get too much into the details of what happened, but my dad was feeling very disoriented. He lost a lot of his vision, and obviously this was something that affected him greatly. He was in the hospital for about a week afterwards. It was very stressful and just a very rough moment in everybody's lives. This was something that I had to deal with, and something that we all had to kind of deal with as a family. You know, we really had to make some changes. My dad had to really reevaluate his lifestyle and how he's been leading his life up to this point. I'm able to talk about it now because it's been a few months, and you know, I just wanted to share with you guys in case you thought that I was distant, in case you thought that I wasn't sharing too much of my family on my Insta stories like I usually do. Even when we celebrated my birthday, I wanted my whole family, my mom and my dad, who are separated, but they're civil. I wanted everybody to be together with their significant others and, you know, kind of just have a family moment. After that happened, my dad and the family decided that in order for him to have a full recovery, that they will be moving out of state. In early January, my dad and his wife and my brother and sister, they moved to Pennsylvania. So you guys know I've always told you this in my other videos. I would spend so much time with my brother and sister beforehand. I would always see them every weekend. They would come over or I would go over, and this was just my routine for the last few years, for as long as I can remember, since they were born. Since their move, things have been very different. We haven't been seeing each other as often, although we communicate very frequently via the phone and text, but it's just not the same. It was almost like a little loss for me. I was talking about it with my therapist, which I have mentioned before. I have been seeing a therapist for about almost a year now, and she's been really helpful, not just in my personal life, but also when it comes to what I do for a living, because you know, what I do for a living is something that's so new. We really don't know the full effect that it has on your mental state. Yeah, my brother and sister moved away, hadn't been seeing them as much. I miss them terribly. This last month I spent about 3 weeks away from them, and it was like kind of gut-wrenching knowing that they're kind of close but yet still so far away. I was about to get emotional and then needed to wet my beauty blender. So now I'm back to it. So all of those changes definitely made me feel like I was going through some losses. Like I was going through a grieving period. Like my dad is not the same. He suffered this major thing. Because of that, everything has sort of changed. Like all of our usual activities have changed and we have to make life changes and so on. So my question to you guys is, have you experienced anything like this before? How do you deal with it? What has helped you sort of remain strong and remain positive and believe in the greater good? Because I gotta admit, I've had days where I was feeling really hopeless. Although I'm a positive person, generally, it does happen to me too. Please comment down below, not just for my sake, but for the sake of everyone else who's watching who may be going through something like this. Although I want this video to be more of a sharing type of experience, I also want it to be uplifting, and I want us to kind of come together as a community and be able to help one another and be able to listen and hear and give advice. So now let's fast forward to today. My dad is actually doing much better. He's lost some good healthy weight. He has been a lot more active, or so I hear. And being that he's moved to Pennsylvania so that he can lower his stress levels and just be more in touch with nature. Even my brother and sister, they're enjoying their new school. They like their new activities. Everything that happened has happened for the betterment of our lives. So for that, I am thankful, but I can't help but stress and worry because it is my parent and I only got 2 of them. I'm just applying this PIXI MultiBalm stick with this contour brush and kind of just blending. This is a product that I've been using and loving for a while. Just such a great product, such an easy product to use. Very similar to my Fenty matchstick, but those are really the only 2 cream contour sticks that I use. I don't really venture out to use any other cream contour products. I don't think there are any really good ones out there, but let me know if you think otherwise. Face is looking closer to being beat. Just gonna quickly camouflage this acne scar right here. And unfortunately, there's another zit forming right next to it. I hate that. Like as soon as one zit starts to heal, there's another one that sometimes forms directly next to it. It's so frustrating. And mine always appear at the most obvious spots, like right here. On a more positive note, I have recently started working out with a trainer. It's been about 4 or 5, possibly 6 weeks now, and I see such major changes in my body. This trainer is actually an ex-bodybuilder. She actually has like the perfect body that I want, like super toned, but still curvy. And she has been kicking my butt, to say the least. And because I've been seeing such great results, I've actually been enjoying going to the gym. So not even when I go to the gym with her, but also when I do homework on my own. It's been a really good experience for me so far. And I can't wait to share with you guys some of the things that I've learned. Of course, I want to get to my like perfect ideal shape first. And then as soon as I do, I'm going to share some tips and tricks of the trade. Ooh, the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter is kind of popping. Wow. I don't even like liquid highlighters, but that one is pretty. I feel like I need more. Speaking of working out and getting more physically healthy and getting more mentally healthy, I have also cut down on the drinking. I don't know if you guys have noticed this about me, but I was always a big wine person. I was always a beer person, a tequila person on a social occasion. And it's always been kind of my downtime. I never really judged myself too much for it. It was always a part of my culture, tradition in my family. Whenever we get together, we always would have tequila shots or we would have a bottle of wine, and it wasn't anything serious or major. However, after I started working out with the trainer, she made me realize that unfortunately all this drinking is not so healthy for me and for my weight loss journey. Not that I'm trying to lose too much weight, but I definitely am trying to tone up. And if I continue drinking the way that I had been drinking before, like every weekend, every Friday, every Saturday, and every Sunday, it's gonna be much harder for me to tone up and to get into the kind of shape that I really want to be in. I now only have about 1 glass of wine if I do have wine. I have only about 1 cocktail if I'm at an event where everybody's having multiple cocktails. And I gotta say, it wasn't even that difficult. At first I thought that it would be one of those things that I would crave, but no, not at all. The less you drink, the less you want it. And I'm kind of thankful for it. Plus I feel a lot more clear-headed, a lot more energetic, and just a lot more fresh. Water in this cup. Skin is looking rather fresh as well. I think I'm just gonna powder wherever I need to powder. I'm gonna use this ELCIE translucent setting powder, which I've been loving. I think this one does a really great job of setting the under eye and also brightening, but without adding too much color or too much luminosity. It's kind of an underrated powder, I would say. I really think it's excellent, but I haven't really seen too many people review it or use it in their videos, and that's a shame because they're missing out. For the rest of the face, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. Got this new brush with it. palette that I'm gonna use. And I'm not gonna set the whole face because I'm not planning on going out today. I'm just gonna stay home. I'm gonna have some company later, some company that you may recognize. So we're just gonna keep it chill. All right, so just powdering the center of the face and just keeping the rest kind of dewy and fresh. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try something different today. I'm gonna use one of these brand new Sigma pencils. Have it in dark and in medium. I'm gonna try the medium first. Oh wow, this thing is so tiny and precise. Speaking of brands and products, let me know if there are any specific brands or products that you would like to see me review, or better question is, if you could choose 4 brands that I could work with for the next year, which ones would they be and why? The reason why I started talking about work is because, well, we've been working really hard these last few weeks. It's been kind of non-stop here on our end, between meetings, between events, between creating content, campaigns. It's been non-stop. Thank God I love my job because I have not had a weekend in about 3 weeks straight, maybe more. Plus I was sick with bronchitis-like symptoms, but I was still doing my usual. I was working out, I was working, and of course I was dealing with life. I'm gonna use the darker one to add a bit more definition within my brows. Also, couldn't wait till this part of the video. Speaking of work, I have a very major professional surprise that I want to share with you guys in due time, but this is actually the first time that I'm speaking about it publicly. Keep glued, stay tuned. I will make a very special announcement very soon. Let's make it interesting. If you can guess what my special surprise is, I will hold a giveaway for all the people who have guessed it right. All you have to do is go on my Instagram and guess my special surprise. Just leave me a comment on any of my photos, hashtag it Team Truth. Those who come the closest to guessing what the surprise is will be entered into a huge, massive, giant, international giveaway. And you know how I do it when I say giant. I mean, it will be a massive giveaway you're not gonna wanna miss. Good luck. Just came up with that out of the blue. Flower Beauty has some new palettes, Suns Blazing and Sugar Rush. You've seen these on my Insta stories. I do love me some Flower Beauty. Thoughts on a 1 brand tutorial featuring Flower Beauty? Also, speaking of YouTube, I want to do some more collabs. And not with just my friends, but I also want to do collabs with some other YouTubers who you might think have a similar or contrasting personality to mine. Let me know if you have any ideas on that. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, then you've seen some of my collabs with some other YouTubers, such as my friends Kristen Leanne, Melissa Alatori, Beauty Bird, Nicole Concilio, just to name a few. So if you have any suggestions, drop them down below. I'm also curious to know, if you watch my channel, whose channels do you also watch? Who are some of your favorite beauty influencers? And what do you like about their channels? Man, this is a pretty shadow. Also, what type of content do you want to see on my channel? I know I haven't vlogged in a while, but there was a hot moment where I was vlogging every single trip that I went on, and we were really making our business to vlog it as professionally as we possibly could. And I know the brand trips are just about to get going. Usually they start picking up around this time, around March, around April. So let me know if you would like to see more vlogs. I know I might have told you guys that I was going to vlog our trip to Puerto Rico, and unfortunately I still don't have that piece of content on my channel, and that is because we unfortunately dropped the ball on filming this vlog. As much as we wanted to share everything that we were going through, what we were going through was just way too personal and emotional, to the point that we didn't even have the know-how on how to handle filming it from like a vlogger's perspective. It was difficult, and I'll tell you why it was different. Although this is not exactly my story, but Lee kind of gave me the go-ahead. He gave me the okay to share this with you guys. This trip to Puerto Rico was very, very emotional for Lee and for myself, because it was the first time that he had met his 9 aunts and uncles and all of their children, who are all his first cousins. I know. Shocker. Lee met his dad for the first time when he was 25. I actually found him on the internet, and after that moment, Lee and his dad had a relationship for a few years, and then they lost each other again. So fast forward to today, you guys know that Lee and I are very much into DNA, into ethnicities, so we happened to take a DNA test, and Lee happened to find a first cousin on this DNA site. So the rest was history. He met his cousin, then he met another cousin. From there, he found out all this history that he didn't even know existed. His dad actually never told him that he had that many siblings and that many nieces and nephews. Unfortunately, we also found out that Lee's dad had recently passed away. And so when we went to Puerto Rico, it was a very bittersweet moment for Lee. He met a lot of family, and it was so emotional for him because his aunts and uncles were literally coming up to him and hugging him as if he was their dead brother. That was a lot. And I think the next time we go to Puerto Rico, we'll need to bring a documentarian with us to kind of capture it all. Okay, this Flower Beauty palette is obviously very nice. I am enjoying what is happening on my eyes. I think I want to do a little bit of yellow because I love yellow shadow. Ooh, this one is really good. Definitely a little bit of fallout here. May want to use that with a sticky base underneath. But since I'm just playing with makeup, I don't mind letting it rip. This would be great with a sticky base. Maybe I should have used a concealer. Didn't realize we were going for all of that in this video. I'm gonna test out this gold. Wow. I'm so smitten by these types of colors. They just always speak to me. Gonna add that orange on the bottom. I knew this palette was gonna be good. All right, gonna add a little bit of brown right here in the outer corner, just for the purposes of intensifying this look. Nice. Gonna blend that out. Gonna use my usual Schwing Liner. Gonna do a bit of a dramatic cat eye today. Can't even tell you how difficult it is to line your eye when the product is running out. Okay, I had to go and fix this liner, and well, let's just say I didn't exactly fix this liner, I just created a whole new look. So if you ever see me with this extra little flick, it's because I up my liner. Wasn't even gonna go for lashes today, but now that I've done all that, I definitely feel like I need lashes. Otherwise, I'm gonna be looking very disbalanced. I'm just gonna apply my mascara, as I always do. Monsieur Big by Lancome is what I'm using now. They're waterproof formula. I have these velour lashes here, and these are faux mink in the style Friends Wisp Benefits. I'm gonna need to cut these down to size because I've never worn them before. All right, let's glue on these lashes. It's been a while since I've done a chatty sort of video. I must admit, it was a little difficult. Found myself going through all types of emotions, even though I thought I was ready to talk. I thought I was totally past all of these issues with my dad and with my brother and sister moving away, but apparently I was not. I guess these are things that will never really go away, and you'll never really know how to cope with them. But the more you talk about them, the easier it gets. So I definitely do feel a little bit of a sense of relief now that I voiced it, now that you guys know this. Now I feel like I can just breathe easy. Now you know, my life ain't perfect. I go through my ups and downs just like any other person. And yes, I have my fears, I have my doubts, I have my moments of despair. So what you sometimes see on social media isn't always an accurate representation of what is actually going on. So yeah, you may want to share a lot of personal things, but sometimes, speaking for myself only, I may just want to share the most positive aspects of my life, which I think is completely natural and normal. I will say that being able to share more with you guys, I think is beneficial not just for me, but for everyone who's watching who might be going through something similar. And just to let it be known that we are not alone in this world. Feel free to reach out to me. You know I love interacting with you guys, whether it's on Instagram through DM, whether it's here on YouTube. However you want to reach out to me, please feel free, you are more than welcome to. Using this Pillow Talk liner from Charlotte. And I think I want to go for this Dominique Cosmetics Nude Kiss Liquid Lip. Another new product, so pretty. I love that her lipsticks are actually a cream formula, so they're a lot easier to apply and they set much quicker. I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild bronzer that I just got in the mail. A little birdie told me that some of you just may want to see me using more Wet n Wild products, so I'm just gonna test this out. I haven't worn Wet n Wild since my high school days, probably even earlier. Oh God, did I really just nail this whole thing? It's terrible. Definitely very pigmented. I do think the color is a little too orange for my liking. Not the most natural looking bronzer in the world. Not very high end, not very luxe. Let's try a different color. I've got this cooler shade here. This one is Sunset Striptease. This one's a little better, but it's got a very cool pinkish sort of undertone. Not a cool gray that you would want to contour with, but more like a red. Got another one, but this one just looks like the color of my eyeshadow. Way too peachy. Maybe I can use this one as blush. Okay, highlighter. This one is called Bloom Time. It's really, really pretty. Like a peachy corally shimmer. Let's see. Well, the highlighter is definitely worth the hype. That is pretty good color payoff. Wow, that is blinding. I heard about these Wet n Wild highlighters. I gotta say, this one's impressive. Bronzers though, not my cup of tea. All right, one last thing I'm gonna do is use this illuminating setting spray from Pure Cosmetics, the Lit Mist, which is from their Blue Light Defense collection. misty. Maybe too misty, but not bad. All right, you guys, we've come to the point of the video where I have to say goodbye, but I want to thank you all so much for being a part of my life, for being a part of my world, for being so awesome, so kind, so giving, and so loyal. You guys make my day every day. That is the truth. And I can't wait for the next time that I get to share more of myself with you. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Check out some of my other videos. If you haven't seen some of my recent videos, make sure your notification bell is on so you don't miss any of my uploads. I am out. Mwah.